Hey guys, Humble back in. Welcome to day 3 in the life of the Moto Razr Plus 2023. I still get confused saying this name. But so far I'm loving the phone. It's very sleek and stylish. I enjoy taking it in and out of my pocket, closing it when I'm done, and it just feels very satisfying every time I open and close the phone. It's just a very nice compact size for carrying in my pocket. Doesn't feel like I'm carrying like a giant rock in my pocket or anything like that compared to some of those large Ultra phones. So this is definitely a nice breath of fresh air. Although one thing that does bother me about the phone is I cannot figure out how to make the always on display stay always on for the life of me. On Samsung phone, I can literally just go into the settings, search always on, and something's gonna come up. I just go toggle that on and that's it. But in these Motorola phone, whenever I search the same exact thing, nothing comes up. It even takes like a second or so to actually show you any results. So it definitely causes some hesitation and question on my end if I'm typing the right term, or is there actually really no search results, or it's just actually slow. So it is odd that it does take a second or two to process and even give you any results. But in general, this phone is super fast everywhere throughout the phone. There's never any lag or stutter. I can launch a million apps at once. For some reason, the search algorithm is just a lot slower. Looks like it just needs a second or two to think whenever I search in the settings. And since I cannot find what I'm looking for in the settings, in the search, I have to dig in the setting menu itself. And I know I'm nitpicking a little bit, but these are the little things that I notice, and it does bother me, so I do want to point it out. Because just in general, my goal is very simple. I'm just looking to turn always on display, but it is not intuitive as I expect it to be. On Pixel phones, I can find it pretty easily as well. Now I've watched it look through this setting, and I just do not like the color choices. Everything is all one color, black text. Not very easy to find. I'm a pretty visual person. I like looking at colors and things that pop out, but when everything all look the same, it takes more effort to kind of read and skim through. And just in general, the phone is colorful, material M design, or whatever letter it is these days. Throughout the whole phone, all the themes matches, the icon, the notification, wallpaper. So all of that is part of Android 13, and it's pretty standard, but for some reason the settings is just not very easy to find. So after doing some digging, I found that in display there is a peak display option. I guess that's what they're calling it on the Motorola phones. Instead of always on display, it is called peak display, because I guess you're technically peeking at it. So you can click into that to customize the clock, change the style to whatever you want. And if you dig in further, there's an option to wake it up, whether it is tap to wake or move the phone to wake. But there is no option to make it always stay on, and that is what I'm looking for. Slightly annoyed I can't find it, so if someone's able to find it, please let me know. I did do a quick Google search, but the answer is not that obvious. I don't want to spend more than 10 minutes doing this simple task. Technically, I know I can just download another app to do it, but that just tells me that Motorola do not want me to do it by design, because it would definitely kill the battery. But you know, at the end of the day, I think the choice should be up to the user. I'm a power user, so if I want to turn it on, then let me turn it on. Some people are the same thing with the refresh rate. I can live with 60 and 90, but some power user absolutely want the 120 Hertz. But to each their own. I want my always on display, and it is not very easy to turn on this phone. Alright, sorry to start off the video so negative. My first video is for phone. I was super excited about it, just the camera features, and just using this phone has been an overall fun experience. I really do enjoy the front screen just getting a nice overhaul. Whenever I'm recording a video or sitting on a tripod, I really do enjoy the front preview screen. It just makes my job a little bit easier. I can frame myself easily, and if I were to move outside the frame, it would try to follow me. And if I were to come back in, the camera kind of just shifts around. So this is so far my most favorite feature about this phone. Although if you're concerned about walking around and recording a video and someone can see this preview of themselves, it is a pretty easy fix. You can just, on the top left hand corner, you can just click an icon to toggle it off, or you can turn it to a cartoon face for whatever reason. I don't know why you want to do that. But since I'm currently recording a video, I will leave it on. So far, this has been one of my most favorite features, and the Motorola camera is not as good as the Google Pixel one, but it does the job though. For some additional functionality, I don't really mind it. I think video is still usable and really cool feature. Just in general, the front screen has a lot of usability, and I do really like that. I think this is going to be the new standard going forward, and it's definitely does make the flipping phone stand out more, in addition to the fact that it can just fold and then then what? At least now you can fold it, you can use it outside the screen as well. So far I do like it. And in addition to that, with the front screen, you can add more apps into it. I haven't figured out what I want to do with my app screen yet. I don't do a lot of stuff on the outer display, but I do like having the options whenever I do want to do it. For example, you can still customize all these apps. By default, they got 6 basic apps, and then that's all you have. They don't let you scroll through all the apps, but I actually don't really mind that. It really forces you to think about which 6 apps you really want to use on the front display. And if you need to use more than 6, you might as well just open up your phone at that point. So I'm still in the process of figuring out which apps I do want to use the most. For now, I just have YouTube and Snapchat there as I go along. And if I'm ever in a situation where I don't feel like opening my phone, I just drop one of these apps into the setting. But I do like that it is customizable, and I'm just figuring out as I go, depending on my usage style, what apps I need, I could just plug it in there. And another thing I do want to point out is the crease in the middle of the phone is still there, and for some reason it is pretty noticeable, at least for me. Sometimes when I open the phone, it feels like the phone is not completely flat due to the fact that the crease is sticking out more. So I don't know, it looks like the phone is somewhat bending a little. And then I turn to the phone to the side just to double check. So it is opened up completely, but I think it's just slightly raised. So you will notice that, and if you run your finger across it, it is there as well. But it took me at least 3 days to really notice the crease to the point that is not really bothering me, but it is noticeable. The first few days I was pretty excited about the phone, the camera, all the features, so I didn't really mind it. I mean, it doesn't really interrupt my experience or anything like that. It just feels like the display is a little crooked or something. So it's just something minor I wanted to point out. Just in general, I really do enjoy using the Motorola flip phones so far. They are making smartphone fun again. Over the last few years, all the phones are the same. Every year, manufacturers just keep popping out the same phone over and over again to slap a new number on it, add a new processor, but nothing else really changes. But now you're seeing a cool form factor. It does have some usability, and there's a reason for it to fold. It's compact, it's small, it can fit in your pocket, it's lighter, and it is a built-in tripod. You can pretty much mount this thing anywhere you want. I've been just doing just that, putting it on top of my toaster oven, on the floor, when I'm digging a hole in the yard, just finding various different angles and situations I can use this phone. It's been pretty fun so far. I mean, you can do the same thing with a tripod, but then you gotta carry a tripod around and adjust the settings. It's a lot of work, and for me, I don't want to carry around too many things at once. If I'm walking, I just want to carry 1 or 2 devices. I don't want to carry all these gears, tripods, and all these accessories. It's too many things to think about. I like having one thing and just working with that, and Motorola Razr Plus 2023 has been pretty fun so far. Although there's one other complaint I do have about this phone is the fast charging. For some reason, it takes forever for me to charge this phone. Whenever I plug it in to charge, it takes 2 to 3 hours or something. I know it is a 30-watt fast charger, and it should be able to charge the phone in an hour, 20 minutes, hour and a half at max. But with all the current chargers that I have, I'm using the OnePlus 10T 120 watt fast charger, and when I plug it in, it does say turbo charging, so I'm not sure why it's taking so long. And now my laptop charger is a USB-C cable. With my Samsung phone, I know I get at least 15 or 18 watt whenever I plug in. So all the other phones work fine on it. The Pixel, Samsung, for some reason, I think they might be using some different technology or something like that. So I'm in the process of figuring out which is the best charger for it. Since they don't give you charging brick anymore, this is the life that we had to live. But not all charging bricks are the same, as you can see. Dig around, I think I got a 45 watt fast charger Samsung brick somewhere in the world. So I'll keep trying different chargers whenever this phone is almost dead. That's just been another things I've been experiencing. Luckily, the battery life has been pretty solid. Even though I'm a heavy user, I still get 9 hours of battery life with this phone, even though I'm using the camera a lot in many different situations. So that's pretty promising to see. Therefore, on a normal day when I'm not using it extensively, I expect it to last pretty long. The first few days I'm pretty excited, so still I'm gonna continue with using the camera pretty heavily until I get tired of it, and then eventually we'll see how long the battery will truly last for a regular average user. Alright, this is some more of my initial thoughts on day 3 of using this phone. I know every day I'm just covering different topics, brainstorming, letting you know my thoughts and general feelings about the phone. And by the end of the week, I will do a 1 week recap, and we'll go from there. But so far so good, very excited. Good phone, sleek, stylish, powerful processor, pretty decent battery life. I do find that the phone runs more efficient than Pixel 7a. It doesn't run hot or anything like that. And the processor is pretty fast in general. Pixel 7a is fast as well, but once it overheats, it slows down dramatically. And this phone doesn't overheat, so far I think it does almost justify the $1,000 cost. Not a lot of these phones out there, but I do look forward to the price dropping over time. $1,000 now reachable for most people. I prefer my flagship phones in the $700 to $800 range. $1,000 is a little bit too much. But for now, it's still early. We'll see how these things changes over the next few years. But there you guys have it. This wraps up day 3 in the life of the Moto Razr Plus 2023. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want me to cover. Let me know if you guys are buying it or if you received it yet and how your experience has been so far. Thank you for watching. Please check out day 2 if you haven't already. Remember to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for other daily videos and see you guys then.